Bismillah. Welcome back to Journeys of Faith, Stories of the Prophets in Hajj, brought to you proudly by Islamicity. I'm your host, Aleem, and today I'm joined again by my brothers, Amr, Mustafa, and Jawahar.
Salam, Aleem. Excited to be here.
It's always a blessing to reflect on these stories with you all.
And this episode, is one that shakes you to the core.
Today we sit with one of the most powerful acts of obedience ever recorded in history, a young boy, a father, a knife, and a moment that has echoed through every Hajj, every Eid, every prayer that asks, can I really give up what I love for the one I love more?
Today, we remember Ismail, peace be upon him, the son who said yes, the one who didn't just submit to his father, but to Allah.
Imagine this: Ibrahim, peace be upon him, a father who had waited years, decades, for a child. He finally gets his son, Ismail, and then receives a dream, not once, repeated, telling him to sacrifice his son.
Yeah. And what breaks me every time is how Ibrahim doesn't hide it. He doesn't force it. He goes to his son and says, "Oh, my beloved son, I have seen in a dream that I must sacrifice you. So tell me, what do you think?"
And Ismail says, "O my father, do as you are commanded. You will find me, insha'Allah, among the patient."
It wasn't just bravery, it was trust in his father and in Allah.
Let that sink in. A teenage boy, maybe 13 or 14, agrees to be laid down by his own father, with a blade at his neck, purely because he trusts the command of God.
That moment wasn't just a test. It became a rite, a living legacy. Every year during Hajj, pilgrims perform the sacrifice in memory of that submission, that obedience.
It's why Eid al-Adha is more than just meat and celebration. It's a call to ask ourselves, what are we willing to give up for Allah? Ego? Wealth? Our own plans?
And Ismail's test became the path to something greater. From that moment of surrender, Allah replaced the boy with a ram. And from that sacrifice, a nation would rise. Makkah, the Kaaba, the rites of Hajj. It all begins there.
Let's speak honestly. We live in a world of temptation, distraction, and pressure, where standing firm in your faith isn't always easy. Obedience doesn't always come with clarity. It often comes with conflict. We're not being asked to lay our lives down, but we are being asked to lay down our ego, our desires, our fear of missing out, our attachment to things that weigh down our hearts.
Sacrifice today might mean turning off Netflix to connect with the Quran. It might mean walking away from haram income to earn halal, or dressing in a way that honors Allah, even when it goes against fashion.
You don't need a grand gesture to be sincere. You just need the will to say yes to Allah when your heart is tested. That's what obedience looks like today.
Ismail's story wasn't just about the sacrifice. It was about the surrender, the kind that says, "Ya Allah, even if this is hard, I trust you."
Obedience today can look like stepping away from the crowd, choosing modesty over attention, choosing prayer over procrastination, choosing forgiveness when revenge feels easier.
And the hard part? No one's watching you do it. There's no crowd cheering you on. Just you, your intention, and Allah.
But that's what made Ismail's obedience so pure. It wasn't for people. It wasn't for recognition. It was for God. Quiet, private, profound.
Ismail didn't just survive the test, he thrived. He helped build the Kaaba with his father. He became a prophet. His descendants include the greatest man to ever walk this earth, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him.
Think about that. What we often fear will break us actually builds us.
His sacrifice wasn't an end. It was a beginning.
All of us have an Ismail we need to lay down. Something we love, something we cling to that might be holding us back from closeness to Allah.
Maybe it's that one sin. Maybe it's pride, Maybe it's the fear of being judged for choosing deen over dunya.
But obedience means trusting Allah when the outcome is unclear.
So we ask you in this moment, what's one thing you can surrender today, not out of fear, but out of love? What's one thing you can give up to get closer to the one who gave you everything?
Because that's how legacies begin. With quiet submission, with private sacrifices, with hearts that say yes, like Ismail did.
And trusting that Allah will replace what you give up with something better. He always does. Just like He replaced the sacrifice with a ram. He replaces hardship with ease, tears with strength, losses with wisdom.
Ismail didn't just submit to his father, he submitted to Allah.
So we ask you, are you willing to surrender what you love for the one who gave it to you in the first place?
Let Ismail's legacy live through your choices, your trust, your quiet acts of devotion. May we all carry that spirit with us through every test, every prayer, every sacrifice.
This was Journeys of Faith, Stories of the Prophets in Hajj, brought to you by Islamicity. I'm your brother Aleem, joined by Amr, Mustafa, and Jawahar. May Allah make us among those who submit, just like Ismail.
Keep striving, even when it's quiet. That's when it's real.
Until next time, keep walking in the path of obedience.
Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.